So, you ever heard of a navel orange? Do you know why they call it a navel orange? Well, wrong. It's not because it joined the Naval Academy or the Navy at all, didn't enlist, didn't get drafted, none of those things. So you were wrong. The real reason that they call this the navel orange is because it has a little navel like that. Just like you have on your belly button. Check it out. Not going to show you my belly button. Can't believe you thought I was going to do that. Okay, so back to the navel orange. This is the orange that defined California for a century. It was introduced in California in 1870 and first planted in Southern California. And then thousands and thousands and thousands of acres of oranges were planted. This is only like 1 acre of oranges, sadly. But yeah, oranges all over Southern California. Still a lot there, actually. Most of it is being moved to the southern San Joaquin Valley, where they've discovered that they could just as successfully grow oranges in much cheaper real estate with the beautiful snow melt coming off the Sierra to hydrate those trees. But have you ever heard of a place called Orange County? There's a reason why it's called Orange County. It's because of my belly button and your belly button and everyone else's belly buttons, because that's why they named this Navel Orange. They should have called it Navel Orange County, to be exact, because those were the oranges that made it famous. There's a lot of different oranges. They should have been more specific. Maybe we should have a, because this orange actually has a grievance. It's like they named a whole county after me, but they really didn't get it right. They really should separate it from all other oranges and really give me my credit where credit is due. I would think that is the argument with the orange, because you know how it is these days, like everybody has their grievance. And I would think that this tree would have a grievance, that if you're going to name a county after it, you should be more specific. You can't just say I don't know, name the town Gary, when really you're referring to, there's a lot of different Garys. If you wanted a crazy town because it's crazy and you're like, let's name it Gary because he's crazy, just like Gary's. You should name it Gary Gregville. Then people be like, oh yeah, I get it. So anyway, Orange Navel County, Navel Orange County, whatever. But so this tree was actually discovered as a sport in Brazil, and it had nothing to do with highlight or whatever other sports like Brazilian soccer. It's not that kind of sport. A sport is when a little sprouts off a tree, like this one right here, this big vigorous one shooting up, and it has like a mutation on it, and then it's different from the parent. And I've seen sports on my trees, and I like a whole section of the tree that's greener than the rest. And I thought, that's a sport. I should probably see what that's all about. And then it was brought up to Southern California in the 1870s, and first planted there, made orange or California famous because of its ubiquitousness, because it was planted by thousands and thousands of acres of oranges were planted, looking much like that, but in far greater quantity. We only have about 1 acre or 2 acres of oranges here. So then places like Disneyland came along, and the housing developments, and knocked down all the orange trees. And then they moved the whole industry to the southern San Joaquin Valley. There's still oranges in Southern California, south of the Tehachapi Mountains, but far fewer, maybe like 10% left, and getting fewer by the day, sadly, because they are really incredible to see. In fact, look, that's why I love it here so much. Look, there's 50 acres of oranges behind my baseball field there. See that? So when you drive up to this place in April and May, you'll be maybe just April, you will be welcomed by the most fragrant scent you've ever smelled in your life. So right now it's late April, and you can see what's happened. Those blossoms I just talked about have made little oranges. It's April 25th, I believe, today. But we still have oranges. These oranges will mature here January 1st, and they'll be really good through the end of March. We really stopped selling them after that, but there's always a few lingering fruit in the tree that didn't get picked, sadly. So this is the time of year where they're really soft. In January 1st, they have a high acidity and low, something's been eating that. Hello, anybody in there? And the low acidity or high acidity and low sugar. Every day that progresses through the orange season, that changes, correlational to the other. And so, the sugar percentage increases day by day, the acidity drops. And so the oranges have this really amazing pungent taste to them early in the season. And at the end of the season, there's none of that. It's nothing but just pure sugar, like right now. And I'll open this thing up and show you. I'm not too afraid that there's a hole in it, and I'll be sharing this fruit with something else. Here it is. Oh boy. Good. So you see here, our oranges are stress grown. Can you tell from the quality of the trees? It's really stressful here. See that red dirt? I'm moving a bunch of dirt, building the landscape. That's bright red dirt. It's got rock in it, a lot of minerals, a lot of trace minerals, very low fertility. And, and it gets like 115 up here. It gets pretty darn cold in winter. So those extremes of the soil and the climate had created an orange that here is just the most amazing flavor you've ever had. Have you ever heard of stress growing grapes? That's when they grow grapes in extremely stressful environments with lots of gravel, very little water, really hot temperatures, and it creates the fruit smaller, but it has unbelievable flavor. That's what's happening to these trees here, in combination with, I believe there's got to be some trace minerals in that dirt that are contributing to this unbelievable taste. Now this place will be a VRBO someday when I'm done with this landscape. You can come out here and pick some oranges and try them for yourself, as long as you're willing to pay the rent. And I know the rent's too damn high, but that's just the way it is. So got to pay my bills. Anyway, so what ends up happening with the stress-grown orange is the rind is extremely thin and extremely adhesive to the actual fruit. It does not want to come off easily. And so you really need to just cut these oranges because it's darn near impossible to peel them. So let's try it. Here we go. You almost saw me drown on camera. I bit into it and so much juice came out. Went down my throat. And almost like the wrong hole. You know the wrong hole thing? You put down the wrong hole and bad things happen? Yeah. Oh my God, I can't even tell you how good this is. This is so good. All right, but it being late or mid-spring, you'll see another tree on my property. It'll have a ton of oranges on it. You'll think that's funny. Why does this tree have so many? Yet this tree right next to it has so few, even though they're big and good. I might have to come get that one. Well, let me tell you. You'll see. You come here. Once you start, you can't stop. The reason this tree has so many oranges next to trees that don't, like these trees are all clean, is because the reason there's no fallen on the ground under this tree, like there are under this tree, is because this tree is a navel orange and it fruits in winter. And this is a Valencia. You ever heard of the town Valencia? Well, that town was made famous by this orange here. maybe even Valencia, Spain, right? So I'm not sure of the history on this Valencia, but Valencia has no navel. Look, it has no navel. It might be jealous of the navel orange for having navel. I don't know. They seem to cohabitate pretty well next to each other. I'm not sure if there's like a jealousy problem or what, but so far I haven't noticed that. So can you tell me which one is the navel and which one is the Valencia? Navel, Valencia. So the Valencia is a lot harder right now. See, this is pretty soft, like soft, squish it, right? See that indentation? See that? The Valencia is really hard. I can't even push in, barely. And so the Valencia is a summer ripening orange. So it's not quite as good. Let's try it. It's not quite as good as a really good navel, but you know what? It's better than nothing. It's good. Right now, this orange tastes like a typical orange you buy in the store during any time of year. The navel is amazing. This one's, it's just kind of good. But like I said, this orange here is used a lot for orange juice making. And whereas the navel really is the fresh for eating quality orange. So anyway, it's obviously good to have both. This orange will get sweeter, and it'll probably peak in ripeness in about a month. It'll be really good, really good. But it won't be phenomenal. If you want a phenomenal orange, you gotta come and get the navels in winter. Probably around February. We sell these things. Go to altacrestfruitcompany.com. My daughter Muppy is the president, and hopefully she'll take this thing big time. We're probably going to plant a bunch of citrus all out here. And we'll have an unbelievable amount of oranges that are not just oranges, not just any old oranges. They're going to be the winter's oranges that are just amazing. Like if you get an orange from a store, you'll be like this, oh, this is good. Don't get me wrong, it's pretty good. Well, this orange, ooh, it is phenomenal. And I can't get enough. This is actually peeling. Wow. There it is. Winter's oranges, Navel, and Valencia. Now you know in your backyard you need both. But whatever. One you can choose, go Navel.